Hey, I'm just going to update and reshoot and update the power chord palm mute video because the last one was way too long. So I'm going to try, it was almost 11 minutes long. I'm going to try to keep this one under 5 minutes. So basically, this is really just to demonstrate a really common technique in rock music. And that's a big category, but it could be, you know, hard rock, glam rock, light rock, of course, really heavy metal stuff, you know, speed metal, and this could be like 70s stuff. Really, kind of really started, I think, more or less in the 70s, right? And then obviously very, very, very prominent in the 80s. You know, 90s kind of lost its. I mean, it was, you know, there, but not in grunge and not in like post grunge. But it was still in existence in the bands, the kind of carryover bands, legacy bands from the previous decades. And, you know, it's still used. And I bet you even nowadays, probably in some bro country, you're going to hear something sort of similar to this. Let's go over real quick, just in case you don't know what a power chord is. A power chord, I'm not going to get into the theory of it, but let's just look at the shape. Let's just take fret 7, string 5. That's the root note. And then we're just going to do the 2-note version, the 2-fingered version. There is a 3-note version of a power chord. Really doesn't change it much, other than just adds a little bit more kind of texture. But let's just do the 2-note version. Fret 7, string 5, index, fret 9, string 4, ring. And a power chord shape, most of them are the same. This is the predominant shape. There obviously are some other shapes, but this is predominantly the main shape, and the shape I'll be using right now. So, and in this position right here, fret 7, string 5, it's an E, an E5. An E5 would be the correct designation of a power chord, as opposed to an E major or an E minor. It's an E5. Then you go down here to fret 3, string 5. There's a C5. I think I'm a little out of tune. Whatever. Go here to fret 5, string 5, same shape. That's a D5, and that chord progression, E5, C5, D5. I mean, that's like the cliche hard rock, heavy metal, and even, like I say, even just regular rock chord progression. Okay, so there's the power chords. The palm mute. If you don't know, a palm mute can be done anywhere, but in this lesson, the palm mute is going to be on string 6, the big string, open. That's not a palm mute, right? That's just the open string 6 being played a few times. A palm mute takes this part of your palm right here, the side of it, really, not like this part. The side of it right here. So here's your pick. Here's the side of your palm that you need. And it's got to basically lay on top of the bridge right here, the bridge of the guitar. I mean, not like right on top of it, but you basically have contact with it because you just want a little bit of skin on that string 6 or whatever string you're trying to palm mute. A little bit of skin, and because you want the string to still resonate. Now, if I move forward, my hand forward just about an inch, it's no longer a palm mute, it's just a mute. Because the string is not resonating. Now I'm going to move it back. There's the palm mute. Okay, so there's the basic elements of this power chord palm mute. Now the real lesson here is the mechanical coordination lesson, really, which is really difficult for people. My students have trouble with it all the time, because it's you have to basically bounce the hand on and off the strings, really, because you hit the chord's not palm muted, and then you have to go right back to contact with the string, in this case string 6, and palm mute, and it's a rhythmic chord. Like I say, it's a rhythmic coordination issue. So here's the chord, and then some palm mutes. Now I'm kind of over dramatizing I'm going to kind of try to over dramatize the hop off the strings. You know, you wouldn't see me have that much movement off, but I just want to demonstrate the importance, well, of the mechanics of it. So if you can kind of watch down the side here. And that is actually what's so hard about it. You know, listening to that doesn't sound very difficult, but it is, because most people just can't get the rhythm right because of the coordination of having to hit the chord, then come back to the string, hit the chord, come back to the string. It's just something, you know, once it's explained, I mean, once you start thinking about it and once you kind of play around with it, you know, this is what really happens. Most people, they go, let's see here, they go. And look, that's a legitimate riff. There's lots of songs have riffs like that, rhythmically speaking. But what if the riff is... That's what people have trouble with. Here's the other version. Well, they even have trouble with that a little bit at first too. But you know, like I said, they're both legitimate riffs. But the other one seems to be harder. Okay, there's a lot more I could say about this stuff, but I don't know. Hopefully that helped clear up some. And like I said, this is such a common technique. I mean, it's probably, in my opinion, in the top 5 most important songwriting, song playing techniques for hard rock, heavy metal, and like I said, light rock even too. I mean, look, I'm going to date myself, but it doesn't matter. Music doesn't matter. I mean, music is music. It doesn't really have an age, in my opinion. But you listen to bands like Rick Springfield from the 80s or the Outfield, and those are not heavy metal bands. Those are not even hard rock. They're just light rock, radio rock, top 40 rock, and they do stuff like this. Pat Benatar, oh man, I'm trying to think, what's her name, from the Bee Gees, not the Bee Gees, it's a dude band. I'm thinking of, never mind, I can't think of her name. But, you know, my point is, top 40 rock. It doesn't have to be heavy metal. It doesn't have to be speed metal. The technique is pervasive everywhere. You know, anyway, I'm just going to leave it right there. Rock.